I am not the type to get offended. I try my best.
You're Mr. Cool. You're Mr. Cool all the time.
Well, and it has nothing to do with that, really.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one, I have way better things more pressing things to study in my life.
Makes sense.
And, there's that whole PC culture, I'm a victim mindset that's going now that I don't want to be a part of.
Yeah, there's a problem.
I don't want to be a part of. Not like there aren't things to issues that need to be dealt with.
That's the thing.
But,
and no one's actually dealing with those problems.
True.
But
being an MMA fan,
I know where you're going with this.
I feel like I just want to touch on Meryl Streep's speech. I made a point to actually listen to it.
So did I, actually.
Just to see where she was coming from with that statement. Because, of course, a lot of YouTube clips just have the 4 seconds where she made the statement. And that's it. Which is typical of today.
Yeah, it's like you're not going to give everyone the entire story. You're just going to give them a piece of the narrative.
Exactly. To incite a specific emotion.
To get a reaction out of because of your particular agenda.
So I listened to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And one, I have to say that the basic gist of the entire speech, I agree with. The gist of the speech was emphasizing the importance of the media and journalists being responsible for holding our leaders accountable for their actions. Absolutely true.
Okay, yes.
Absolute fact. Yeah. But in making that point, she kind of bounced around on other things, including Donald Trump wanting to get rid of all the immigrants in the U.S.
She never even called his name.
That was actually quite brilliant.
Interesting thing about it. Don't you think it feels a little scripted, though?
Well, of course it was scripted. She had a thing.
Oh, yeah,
she had cards.
That's true. That's true.
Of course. Which makes what I'm about to say a bit worse.
Right.
Because in talking about Donald Trump trying to get rid of immigrants, she made a statement where she pointed out all the immigrants in the audience and made the point that immigrants...
Dude, did you see Ryan Gosling's face like, please, why are you calling my name? Oh, shit, the camera's on me now. And Mel Gibson's like,
what the hell are you
maybe I should focus on this even more.
Anyway, so
let me give them my thinker face.
She pointed out a bunch of immigrants in the audience and made the point that immigrants they provide and they are contributing members of society.
But again, just to sort of move this narrative along, was she referring to legal immigrants or illegal immigrants?
That never came up.
Right. So even more clever in the way this whole agenda is being put out.
Of course.
Because then was she claiming? Because that was what I was starting to wonder. Wait a minute, Meryl Streep, are you outing a bunch of illegals in Hollywood? Case in point, Ryan Gosling. No, they haven't stopped my green card yet. Why are you calling my name?
So she made that point and kind of buttoned it by saying, so if you kick all the immigrants out of the U.S., all we're going to have is some other sport that I can't remember, and MMA.
Football and mixed martial arts.
I don't know where that came from. Because
two multi-billion-dollar industries, by the way.
So if that was scripted, that means that she would have put some thought into that unless that was off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, if you're on a forum like the Golden Globes and you're going to make a statement like that, I think it should have some type of fact and research going into it.
Maybe it did. That's the whole thing, dude.
Well, it didn't have any fact.
No,
because if your point is the importance, the contribution of immigrants, and saying if without immigrants all we're going to have is MMA, that's bullshit. Because the most popular mixed martial artist is an Irishman.
There's a guy named Conor McGregor. Mm-hmm.
At one point, the majority of the champions in the UFC were Brazilian. The two arguably greatest mixed martial artists of all time are Russian and Brazilian. The two guys that are gunning for Conor McGregor's belt are one is of Mexican descent and the other one is Russian. The women's bantamweight champion is Brazilian and a lesbian. Mixed martial arts is the most inclusive and diverse sport in the world, possibly second to soccer. So what research went into that statement?
Well, again, better believe research went into that statement.
Where did she research?
It's just not. It's not the kind of research that is rooted in the facts of that particular matter, but definitely it's driving a particular agenda, a particular narrative, and the thing is, in this particular new era, because this is a new era. We are living, at one point, we were living in the post 9/11 era.
Mm-hmm.
We lived in the pre 9/11 era. Now we're living in the post Trump era. And we just exited the pre Trump era. Some would say it's the post Obama era, but it's not even. It's not even going to be close to what we will be seeing in the post-Trump era.
Quite possibly, but but we're not too sure what that would bring yet.
No, and that's the thing. I'm not even suggesting that it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. It's all doom and gloom, because I always have this saying, right? How the world's not going to end is because Marvel Phase 3 hasn't come out yet. Because if they say Hollywood is the Illuminati, they must know. We have more money to make with Captain America, and Hulk and Thor they didn't even have the movie yet. Hulk hasn't even had his own solo movie.
Maybe that's just misdirection.
Oh no,
we're planning movies for 2028.
No, my friend,
guys. So look forward.
They also intend to stamp out DC, the very specter of DC. And if they need the next couple of years to do it,
please, they can do that by August.
Oh, dude, there's so much we're going to be talking about with DC especially, but we'll deal with it in the next segment. I think, my thoughts on what you're saying. I'm not really a huge diehard fan of MMA, but I can appreciate that sport and look at the sport as an art form. You look at someone like Bruce Lee, who I've heard you say arguably is the first mixed martial artist. And are you going to look at me, someone, and say that Bruce Lee wasn't an artist in what he was doing? No, that's craziness, man. So what I'm saying is, in this post-Trump era, you could fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time, as the song goes.
Mm-hmm.
And no one's going to buy that type of rhetoric anymore. Some still are, the remnants are.
Many people still buy it.
Well, okay, yeah, but the many in this case can't even outnumber the vast majority. Many of few is still less than the vast majority, and the vast majority are waking up.
That's possibly the case.
Let's
but
hope
the
so.
thing is, the few that buy it are the ones who are vocal.
Right, and that is why people need to start talking more. Hence, have more podcasts, talk more online, all of that. The goal is not to piss off people or be mean or rude to people. I mean, if that's what you want to do in a free speech society, I say have at it, right? But I would say, if I don't need to be rude or insulting, I choose not to.
Mm-hmm.
But I also defend the right to, because at the end of the day, who cares about feelings? Unless you choose to.
Yeah, that is a choice.
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for watching. And if you like this video and you want to see more, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and SoundCloud. And check out my film series, available on Vimeo On Demand. Links are in the description. Thanks for stopping by.